Hello, this is Jack Tips here, and I'm up in Ogden, Utah at the Systemic Formulary, visiting, having a great day up here, looking at all the new things in store. And I'm going to visit with you just a little bit about the GB Pituitary formula. Doc Wheelwright created this formula with some really very interesting clinical applications in mind. As you may well know, the pituitary is actually three glands in one: the posterior, the anterior, and the intermediate. And each area makes peptides and hormones and signals for body regulation. So a lot of times we'll find that the inclusion of the GB pituitary formula in a program just adds that extra dimension of comprehensive effectiveness. For instance, anything with involving hormone balance, a lot of times the signals of hormones in the body go back through the hypothalamus information to the pituitary. The pituitary then has to regulate the body. And so when we include the pituitary in, let's say, a female hormone balance or thyroid hormone balance, or with the adrenals for the adrenal hypothalamic axis, then we're enhancing our programs by supporting, and actually I call the formula nurturing and nourishing to the pituitary gland in a balanced sense. So that's one of the great ways of doing the pituitary formula, to get that extra edge to a program. Now, Doc Wheelwright had some tricks up his sleeve that he loved to employ the pituitary formula for. One was jet lag. You could think of the body trying to regulate the circadian rhythms, of which the pineal gland is involved. And this formula is actually called pituitary pineal because it works with the balance of both of those brain glands. And so Doc would often have people take some pituitary and maybe put it with the thyroid formula before getting on a long jet flight, during the flight, and then after. And Doc was pretty famous back in his day for jet setting all over the world and arriving very fresh and avoiding the rigors of jet lag. So that might be one little aspect of pulling this formula out for next time you're going on an overseas flight. So the pituitary formula is one of three formulas that Doc built in his day to support the entire brain. And so it became part of a brain boost. Now, many people don't understand that Doc created the I formula, the EYE, for the back of the brain. That's where the optic nerve goes to the back of the brain. And that's where the body starts getting its ability to see what the eyes are seeing and to understand what we're seeing. In the middle, the pituitary pineal dominate, and then the frontal lobe was for the B brain. So Doc had a little program where he would put all three together, and he called that the brain boost or the brain balancer, and often would cite that the right and left hemispheres could balance their activity and become more cohesive. And of course, people really wanted to be able to focus and draw upon the right side of the brain, the intuitive, the artistic faculty. So it's not uncommon that we find that people who employ the GB pituitary formula may well cite having increased feelings of creativity. They find that their brains can have better cognitive faculties. And spinning off of that word cognition, I'll point to the Neuroson. And in my clinical practice, I'm often finding I'm putting the pituitary formula with the Neuroson, the memory cognitive formula, just as a match that really seems to help people respond. One other little secret use of the pituitary, if we think that there's the antidiuretic hormone involved with the intermediate area, that the pituitary formula was something that Doc kind of had an ace up his sleeve for people engaging weight loss programs. He found that that would help ease the way. It might minimize some cravings. And these are just some simple and unique things that may be unique to the ingredients or to the combination of ingredients that come through the annals of 30 years of clinical practice employing the GB pituitary for a variety of uses, mostly as something that accentuates and augments endocrine balancing programs. Thank you very much.